You walk into a store and buy a phone, a pair of sneakers, maybe a bag of oranges. You think you're just paying for the product? But baked into that price is something you probably didn't see, didn't approve, and didn't realize you were paying for. It's called a tariff. And while politicians love to throw the word around like it's patriotic or protective, what it really means is that regular people like you end up footing the bill. Welcome to Money Muffin, where we make money simple, smart, and just a little bit spicy. Today we're breaking down what tariffs are, how they show up in your everyday spending, and why they're one of the sneakiest taxes you've never voted for. A tariff is a tax that a government places on imported goods. It's basically a fee that gets added to stuff brought in from other countries. The idea is that by making imported products more expensive, you'll be more likely to buy things made locally, which in theory supports jobs and industries at home. Sounds fair, right? But here's where it gets messy. When a company has to pay a tariff to bring a product into the country, it doesn't just eat the cost, it passes that cost to you, the buyer. So while the tariff was placed on a company, the bill lands squarely in your shopping cart. Let's use a real example. Say there's a $500 smartphone made in China. If the US places a 20% tariff on Chinese electronics, that company now pays $100 just to get the phone across the border. They could eat the cost, but they won't. Instead, they raise the price. That $500 phone becomes $600 for you. Same phone, more money. Now multiply that across appliances, clothing, cars, food, steel, and tech, and suddenly, you're spending hundreds more each year, without a single vote, warning, or headline telling you why. Governments say tariffs protect domestic jobs by making foreign goods less attractive. But most economists agree that in the long term, tariffs raise prices for everyone and hurt global supply chains. They can spark trade wars, delay shipments, or even cause shortages. And guess who gets stuck with higher prices and fewer choices? That's the thing about tariffs. They sound like they're about punishing the other guys. But they almost always hit home first. And if you're living paycheck to paycheck, or just trying to keep your grocery bill under control, that extra 2 or 5 or 20% adds up fast. You don't just pay more at the checkout, you pay in inflation. You pay in limited options. You pay when local producers raise prices too, because they know imported competitors are now more expensive. In a strange way, tariffs can give local companies an excuse to charge more, even if their costs didn't go up. It's not always about fairness. Sometimes it's about leverage, politics, or power plays between countries. And in the middle of all of it is you, wondering why your food, shoes, or phone suddenly cost more this month. Now, can tariffs be good? Sometimes, if used strategically, they can protect fragile industries, encourage local innovation, or reduce dependency on specific countries. But they're often used for short-term political wins instead of long-term economic strategy. And the biggest myth of all, that tariffs are somehow free to voters? They're not. They're taxes, just hidden ones. So how do you avoid getting burned by them? First, buy closer to the source. Products made locally, sold directly from producers or small businesses, often dodge import fees and supply chain markups. Second, go used. A second-hand phone, appliance, or item won't carry the fresh import costs of a brand new one. Third, shop smarter with tools that track price changes. If you see a sudden spike in the cost of certain items, especially from specific countries, it might not be inflation. It might be tariffs in action. And lastly, vote with awareness. Understand when tariffs are being pitched as protection, but actually just raise costs for working people. Tariffs aren't evil, but they're not magic either. They're just one more way the cost of global politics quietly lands in your lap, one product at a time. The more you understand them, the more you can spot them, dodge them, or work around them. And that's how you win, because the game might be rigged. But now, you've got the map. This is Money Muffin, making sense of money, one bite at a time. Hit subscribe if this helped you see something new. Can tell us in the comments. What's one everyday item you've seen get weirdly expensive lately?